Hi everyone, I am Paul from EMG Property Brokerage. So today I'd like to talk another topic. This is my second installment video for real estate. Last time pinag-usapan natin that if we engage in real estate, we should have a vision, a clear map kung saan tayo pupunta. But today it would be very informative. It would be somehow a wake-up call could be, or it could break a misconception about buying home sa real estate. Okay, so I have entitled this topic as a buying home made easy. So by yours truly. So sabi nila, it is hard to buy a home. Yes, totoo po yan. That is the misconception that was passed on from generation to generation. Why? Kasi ang akala natin, when we buy home, kailangan cash parate, that we are going to pay millions of pesos, okay, 2 million, 3 million, 4 million, and to pay it in cash, kailangan buo when we buy a house. Yes, tama po yun, but somehow, that is also wrong. Bakit? Kasi when we buy in a subdivision, in a project development, okay, so they are offering these properties in a scheme na pwede tayong bumili ng mas madali. Okay, so pag-uusapan po natin yan mamaya. So, there is a fact that we must know that there is a backlog here in the Philippines, housing backlog, na napakaraming tao ang nangangailangan ng sariling bahay. It is been recorded by the government agency that there is 3.9 million households na backlog dito sa Pilipinas. Assuming daw that there is a production of 200,000 houses a year, okay, from 2012 to 2030, the backlog still persists. Okay, gaano karami? That is 6.5 million households by 2030. So, ibig sabihin, yung 3.9 million natin, okay, almost double pa kasi naging 6.5 million. Napakaraming backlogs na pwedeng mangyari. So, with us, dito na papasok yung trabaho naming mga brokers. And of course, the sellers in this industry, the property advisors that I have. Okay, the government kasi, there is a certain project to reduce the backlogs. Here with us, with real estate brokers and the sellers, okay, the registered sellers. So, our aim is to help the government to alleviate the housing backlogs and to bring the right families to right housing that eventually their home. Kasi kapag sinabi natin right housing to the right family or right family to the right housing, kasi there are housing na hindi fit for this family and this family is not fit for this housing. So mamaya, i-check po natin yan. So, according to law, there are two kinds of housing. Number one is the open market and the medium cost housing that is under the Presidential Decree 957 or also known as the Subdivision and Condominiums Buyers Protective Decree. So, dito kasi sa open market and medium cost housing, the price is hindi siya dictated by the government. The price is hindi siya limited by a government na ito yung ceiling price, hanggang dito lang ang presyo. Okay? So, in the open market housing, there is no price limit. Okay? As long as there are certain parameters na binibigay ang government when it comes to the kung paano gawin ang subdivision, what are the facilities of this subdivision. So, makikita natin yan. If we're going to go more deeper, more technical with the open market and medium cost housing, makikita natin they are very different. Okay, so let me give an example. Here in Subic kasi, there are projects that I am handling na under the open market and medium cost housing. Number one is the Tierra Verde Subic by Pragmatic Development Construction Corporation. Another is the Susana Executive Village, also by Pragmatic, as well as ito Camellia Subic, okay, by Vistaland Corporation, as well as the Casa Mia. They are part of the open market and medium cost housing, as well as the Sierra Hills. Okay, those subdivision that I have mentioned is part of the open market and medium cost housing. But there is another kind of housing. Baka iniisip ninyo, mukhang itong mga to, ito yung mga mamahaling subdivision. But today, I'd also like to introduce to you the another housing kind na according to law na meron tayo. And that is what we call the socialized and economic housing, which falls under the Batas Pambansa bilang 220. So this socialized and economic housing is a counterpart nitong open market and medium cost housing. Kasi kung mapapansin natin, nabanggit ko kanina na walang price limit sa open market. But in socialized and economic housing, it is designed for average and low income earners. So minandate po kasi ng batas natin dito sa BP 220 na ang bawat developer na magpo-provide ng open market and medium cost housing will be providing a socialized and economic housing to cater hindi lang yung mga may kaya but to cater the average and low income earners. Ito po sila yung mga ang prices nito is ranging from 450,000 up to 1,750,000. I'll have to check it if it is 1,800,000 or 1,700,000 based on the current update na meron tayo. So that is socialized and economic housing. What are the examples here? So meron dito there are, I think ang mababanggit ko lang dalawang projects here in Subic. That is the Fiesta Communities in Castillejos, Fiesta Communities in Subic then as well as the other parts of Subic meron, and of course the Lumina Subic. Those two are part of socialized and economic housing. Why? They are offering the price range from 450,000 up to 1,750,000. But of course, depende yan sa i-avail nila. Okay, dito din sa socialized and economic housing, this is meron kasi silang pagkakaiba when it comes to the standards of road sizes, yung mga gamit nila when it comes to the facilities. Magkaiba kasi sila ng facilities. Magkaiba din sila ng standards. And if we are going to go deeper with that, we're going to check the PD 957 for the open house, open market and medium cost, as well as the socialized and economic housing. But today, hindi ako masyado magtatagal doon kasi that is very technical. I think ang ilang minutes na pinrepare ko would take hours to discuss those matters. Okay. So, in buying home, I'd like to share 3 things to consider in buying a home. Number 1 is your preference. Kasi, there are preference na minsan hindi kasi nag-fit. Okay? Like, we have to know our preferred location. We have to know the area of the property. Is it kailangan ba 60 square meter, 100 square meter? Pero kung you're not knowledgeable with that already, or hindi pa tayo masyadong familiar with the floor areas, you could talk to us brokers. We could help you much with that. The house area, ilan ang floor area sa loob ng bahay, how many rooms could it be? Okay? Number of bedrooms, number of toilet and bath. Kasi there are certain when I am selling, always I ask, how many rooms do you need? How many toilet and bath? Kasi there are clients that need so many bedrooms and needs as well ng napakaraming toilet. But there are people who wanted to have a 2-bedroom but they also want a 2 toilet. Okay? But in some instance kasi, the developers are only catering 2 bedrooms with 1 toilet. Okay. But of course, we could study much more deeper with that. Okay? But what is important is you know what are your preference, how concrete your preference is, para hindi tayo mahirapan agad sa doon sa pag-a-advise namin ng tamang property para sa inyo. And of course, ito yung pinaka-importante ngayon. Kasi if we wanted to buy a car, we need a parking space. Okay? So, we have to consider parking space as well as part of our preference. And of course, yung amenity. Ano ba yung mga ma-enjoy ko with the subdivision? Will I be enjoying a swimming pool, jacuzzi, playground, or anything. So amenity is this is part that a development must always be considered. Kasi dito tayo, ito yung offer ng subdivision nang wala sa labas. Okay? And this amenity is very exclusive to be used by the homeowners. And I assure you na ang mga developments na meron tayo na sinasabi na nabanggit ko kanina are developments na meron mga amenity that I believe that would fit with you. Okay? So number one is preference. But if you are not hindi pa kayo konkreto doon sa preference na gusto nyo, I could help you with that. Okay, just set an appointment with me, okay, and I would lay you down kung ano yung mga kailangan ninyo, and let's clear these things along the way. Okay, so that is number one, that is preference. Number two is financial capacity. Okay, kapag tinanong po kayo ng broker or ng agent, how much do you earn? Huwag po kayo mahihiyang magsabi na ito lang yung income ko, ito yung income ko, ganto kalaki yung income ko. Why? Kasi your financial capacity is the basis of how are we going to say something or to tell you what has to be done or what property is fit for you. So, wag po kayo ma-offend na kapag tinanong, magkano po ang income capacity niyo, bakit mo tinatanong? Diba? Sometimes ganun tayo eh. But no, that's a no-no. Kasi, for us broker na mapadali po yung magiging advice namin sa inyo, we have to know magkano kaya ang in-earn ng kausap ko. Why? Kasi, let's say, I laid down all the papers, I laid down all the projects, then, at the end of that line, sasabihin nyo, minimum wage income earner ako, or I am a high income earner, that is not what I preferred for. So kami, we're going to return to the scratch again and to give you another proposal of what to be given. That is why we are asking, how much is your financial capacity? So don't be wag po tayong ma-offend when we are asking that. Kasi napaka-importante po yun sa trabaho namin. And importante po yun to give you the best service that we have. Kasi we are considering ano ba yung earnings nyo. Okay? We are also considering magkano ba yung pwede nyong i-allocate with your family, okay, for housing. Okay? Kasi housing financial capacity kasi based on the standards by the banks and the Pag-ibig Fund. Kapag kumikita po tayo ng 10,000 pesos, only 3,000 pesos can be accommodated to be budgeted for housing. Okay? So, yun. That is where we are doing our propositions. Yan. Kasi your housing allowance is only 30% lamang ng ating GMI or gross monthly income. And lastly is what is our purchase requirement. Ito po yung sinasabi ko kasi kanina. The purchase requirement could be a cash payment or it could be an installment payment. Kasi when it comes to cash payment, ito yung you're going to pay the whole amount, di ba? But of course, we are not supposed to be like that. Kasi there are instances na wala talaga naman, hindi lahat ng tao could pay the whole amount in cash. But that is why there is a scheme in the developer side na pwede naman tong bayaran ng installment. Not unlike kapag bibili ka sa labas ng subdivision, okay, once they say, you have to pay me 1 million, then you're going to pay in 1 million in cash. Tama? But here in the subdivision, you could take it in many financing schemes like you're going to pay 12 months to pay the down payment. At the same time, pwede ka rin naman, after the down payment, you could check what available financings there would be. It could be bank, it could be Pag-ibig Fund, okay, and other partners. Tama? Kasi marami tayong pagpipilian. Bank financing, that it is also friendly financing. Kasi they could offer us 15 to 20 years, depende sa bangko na meron. Pag-ibig financing is 30 years maximum. And in-house financing, sometimes they can accommodate 15 years. But some as lesser as the years, mas okay. Okay, so what are the purchase requirements? Kasi kung alam na natin ang preference natin, we know the financial capacity, we know the financial requirement na meron kayo, we will lay down all the propositions sa inyo. We're going to propose ano bang subdivision ang fit sa iyo, anong project ang bagay sa iyo. Is it the open market, housing market, open or medium cost housing, or the socialized and economic housing. Kasi doon sa financial capacity, doon namin titingnan po kasi yon. As well as the purchase requirement, if you are okay with pag-ibig, the bank financing, or the developer financing. So, depende po yan. So, as ano po, if you have already checked your capacity kasi, if you are willing na, okay, as we show everything with you, what you are next to do is, kasi hindi naman pwedeng pinropose namin to and then wala na, tama? You have to do din on your part. You have to know if ako willing na ba, is it the right time to buy this property. But I tell you po na I have encountered so many people before na sabi na, I am not ready for this. But I told them na yes, we are not ready, but if we are going to wait when to be ready, baka at that time hindi na tayo makabili. That is why I encourage everyone ng clients ko before that they have to decide and to take the risk. Why? Kasi once they take the risk, that is the time na nagpe-persevere na tayo to buy the property. Okay? Kasi if we are not going to persevere on that, hindi natin matatapos ang pagbili ng property. That is why it is very important, if you decide, take the risk to buy the property. After all, it is for your dream home. So that's all. That's my presentation for today. So again, that is from EMG Property Brokerage. I am Paul. If you do have question, you could always message me in my messenger. Okay, and you could also as well subscribe at my YouTube. Okay, thank you very much and have a good day. And I hope you have learned from me. Thank you very much and God bless. Bye bye.